Alrighty, welcome folks. I think we're about live. We're almost there. Boom, we have the feed. Welcome. Alright, I still can't get this to enter. What is it? Acrobat. Enter. There we go. Alrighty, I think I'm golden. I'm going in both places. Got my YouTube going. Jeremy Black, yo, what's happening? Jay Black's first one in the house today. Daniel Lemons, Marco, Dave Hill. That's Marco Garofalo. Welcome, welcome. Daniel Lemons, not much is going on. What's going on with you? How's Wichita Falls these days? Haven't seen any storms up your way yet. We don't have anything here. I think Oklahoma City, Tulsa's got a little something going on. Stephen Cordes is in the house. Jimmy Young's in the house. What's happening, guys? Let me pop over and look at my radar and see if anything else has been brewing that's been new. I know there was a little bitty something down below Lawton, but that was about it. Didn't look like it hit Lawton. Had a bunch of stuff looking like they was supposed to come to us, but nothing. I haven't seen anything out here. Yeah, it still looks like it's all in Okmulgee, Muskogee, Shawnee. Looks like it's below Tulsa. Looks like it's out of Tulsa now. There's still a little something brewing just kind of southeast, I guess, and then straight east of Lawton, but there's nothing out here for me. So looks like I'm in the clear tonight. So we'll forget that radar. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they were saying, earlier this week, they were saying by 2 or 3 this afternoon, we're supposed to have baseball size hail out here. And by 8 o'clock, we're supposed to possibly have baseball size hail. And hell, there's not even a storm out here right now. So we got lucky. We got between quarter and we probably got golf ball size. Yeah, I'm sorry, I picked over. Had a thread going with one of my teachers, and I think I'll close that up. I'll talk to her after the show. I think we got golf ball size last week. I had a couple little things broke, not much. Got some stuff inside my house, but had a light on the dirt trailer. Cover get smashed, and one of my kids' cars, their mirror got busted. But that's about it. Knock on wood. So, and it's not. I don't know. We'll see if it happens late. But so far, got nothing out here in Southwest Oklahoma. Like I said, it looks like Tulsa got a little something, and then there's some stuff on brewing out that way for them. So. Let's see. I need to go back up and miss you guys. Stephen Smith joined. What's happening, Stephen Smith? I saw Stephen cruising around, camping here and there in his Van Dewitt, enjoying some time off, it looked like. Ryan Superfly Palumbo. What's happening, Ryan? Good morning. It's not a good morning yet. Of course, so all my days string together. It's pretty funny. It's like I've lost track of what day is what and what I'm doing because I'm just like, it's all the same thing. And the only thing that keeps me on track is I know that every Tuesday night I got to do the weekly Wizard update. So that kind of keeps me on track. Oh, here, Brandon, what's happening? How are you? Oh, hey, B, give me a second. I'll fix that. I'll fix that mic issue. Boom. There we go. There's my mic. I had it. I just had it down on the floor. So my bad. Got that covered now, though. Cordes is checking out the YouTube feed on the back patio. Hazy IPA. Nice. I like that hazy IPA. I'm not an IPA guy, but that is really one that I do like. There's a couple that just kind of really hit me right, and that's one of them. That's a tasty little beverage. So tonight I'm doing my Natty Light, which I've been drinking this water for a while. It's pretty solid. And I'm going to do a little Old Smoky salty caramel. And I'll probably pinch my damn finger when I put the lid back on because it's kind of like a wine cork thing. And so I always got to press it down. It always seems like I pinch the crap out of the inside of my hand doing it. Oh, yeah. Let's see if we can do this without damaging myself. Oh, look at that. No damage. In my handy dandy Homer Simpson cup. Dope. Brian Albee says, hell yeah. Hopefully not tonight for me, but looks like there's some of it been getting some of the stuff. Michael Pickles in the house, Robert Ferris, Brandon Campbell. Daryl Stillson, hey Daryl. Saw where your wife had a little accident. Hope she's feeling better. Hope she's recovering and got her stitches all feeling better. Mike Pickles says barely has a wet deck out there in Edmond, Oklahoma. Probably sitting on the big deck. There's a whole, if you guys haven't seen it, just Google Big Deck. Big Deck, D-E-C-K. It's Jeff Foxworthy and all those boys. They have a whole bunch of little skits with that about the Big Deck skits. You gotta just Google that. You'll chuckle for a while. Chris Southern's in the house. Corey Carson. Hey, Corey, welcome, brother. It's good to have it. We haven't talked in quite some time. Glad to see you checking in. Hope to see you out on the bike sometime. Shane Gunno, Herb Brown. What's happening, Herb? Micah Gordon's checking in. What's happening, Micah? Todd Bugleen's in the house. What's happening, Tom? Tom and Debbie are our two officials, and hopefully we're going to be able to put them guys back to work soon. We'll talk about that here in a jiff. Darren Moore, Colorado, hanging out. Hope it's snowing on you guys just because, just because. I like giving you a hard time. Tommy Duvall's in the house. What's happening, Tommy? Amber Simon. Hopefully Amber and the rest of the crew's joining. Herb Brown says the stash is coming in nicely. I see. I gave up on getting a haircut and went completely bald last week. Well, I have hair. I'm not receding. I'm not thin, but I just cut mine. I take an 1/8 blade and just boom, 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 done. So I'm good. I have to trim my mustache a little bit because it gets down in here. But yeah, it's doing well. I'm finally starting to kind of fill in a little bit here. I still have a little bit of a gap, but I'm getting there. This side's doing better. My right side's doing a little better. So, again, Angela Cordes of the Cordes clan up in Lawton just flat out told me that if I was going to do it, then I had to make it connect. I couldn't just have a mustache and have a gap. So I had to close the gap. Mind the gap is unfortunately, we're not going to get to mind the gap at Tulsa Tough this year. But yeah, anyway, thought that was so thanks, Herb. Blake Brand's in the house. What's happening, Blake? Team warm-up cycling team, word up. I know I'm kind of a hippie. I like that. David Copeland. Daniel Lemon says weather has been prime here in the falls. Trails in great shape. That's excellent. Yeah, no kidding. I think you missed the hailstorm we had and the rain that we had here a while back. So you guys have been staying good. I'll bet it's fast. Joel Farrell, what's happening? Possibly Tammy, but probably Joel. Dennis Nadolny, I've seen some of his rides. He's been posting it up. I think you and the whole family. I saw you took a picture of your wife riding with one of the kiddos too. So awesome. David Copeland, welcome. All right, let me pop over to YouTube, make sure Brandon hadn't said anything. All right. Oh yeah, Brandon. So my buddy Brandon over on my YouTube, he asked me about my lava lamp. So yeah, sorry, I moved my lava lamp into my bedroom. So I've been kind of moving some things around, and that one ended up in my bedroom. I don't particularly know why, so I can move it back out here. But yeah, so it's around the corner. Can't see it tonight, so maybe I'll move it back out for the show next week. So we'll see. Corey Lauer, what's happening? Scott Stinson's in the house. Scott, I think you guys are all good now, Scott. I looked at the radar. I think you guys got a little something going earlier in the last couple hours, but it looks like you guys are fairly clear now, unless you guys are pretty much south of Tulsa. Debbie Ugling's in the house. Welcome, Debbie. That guy over there. All righty. Let me do one quick check. Right. Cool, Brandon. Yeah. All righty. Ready. All right. I do have a few topics on the list tonight. Not a whole lot. So I guess I'll just kind of always like to talk a little bit about what my pandemic week has been like. So hasn't been much different. Again, I'm a little bit different than you guys, so I'm a lot less restricted. I do want to talk a little bit about some stuff that's going around, and just some thoughts I have on it. Again, you guys can take it for what it's worth, but I don't like to jump on any bandwagons. I like to go with evidence and things that I see and I can verify, which is really hard these days. But I'll just kind of give you a little bit of my world. So basically still the same. Amy and I quarantined, all three of my boys quarantined. We've been kind of hanging out. But again, we're a lot less restrictive out here. I live in Kiowa County, Southwest Oklahoma. We've had 4 confirmed cases. There's probably been 2 or 3 more, but only 4 confirmed. 2 of those are now well. I think only one of those are actually in my town. We have a couple of towns in our county. We're the largest town in our county. I think we're rolling at just under 4,000, maybe 3,600. So super small. So fairly safe. I mean, some people are wearing masks, some people aren't, but we've been fairly lucky in that there's just not a lot of confirmed cases here. So there's really not too many issues. We have had a very interesting development here in our town locally. We receive water from a lake called Foss Lake in Clinton, which is about 45 minutes straight north of here. We don't have any other water facilities where we pull water from, and they have an issue with their system. There was an explanation, but it was kind of above my pay grade, and I can't remember it all exactly. But anyway, they're working on it as we speak, trying to get it working. Until they get it working, they can't pump any more water our way. If you've ever been to Hobart, which many of you have not, we have like 6 water towers. I don't know, 4 or 5. I don't know. There's a lot. It's always funny because you can see them from way outside of town. And we're basically limited to the water in our water towers. So I did do laundry today. I did take a shower, short one, before the show today because I've been working outside. Technically, we're supposed to be rationing and doing as little of that as possible. We can't water any yards. We're supposed to, so we're supposed to be limiting showers and everything because our town is now basically operating on the water that we have in our towers. So hopefully over the next couple of days, we'll hear good news that they have got the towers fixed and we're good to go. I'm live, but you can just cruise on through.
I was trying to decide what time it was.
Yeah, we're good. I'm live, but you just come on in. No, you're all good. So, I mean, that makes things interesting. I mean, we'll be fine, but I don't know. Hopefully we won't run out of water and make things unsanitary, but we'll see what happens. So I've gone hiking a couple times, done some gravel rides. That's pretty much all I do. Hang out here, work. This is my office right here. You're looking at my office, minus this during the day. But That's pretty much the extent of it.
So cool.
So pop over there, right? Deb Eugling says, "Let's race." Yep, it's gonna happen soon. I think. Looks like we're getting there. Rusty Daily join. What's happening, Rusty? Glad to see you. I can't wait to ride with you again, man. I miss hanging out with you and doing some trips. Derek Gossard's in the house. Kevin Peaks in the house. Kevin Snyder's in the house. GT Giorgito, what's up? Colton Albert. Dustin Easter. Welcome, Dustin. Dustin's an old friend of mine, man. We go back so far, all the way back to Saranoak City. GT says, "What's Wizard?" I assume that's "What's up, Wizard?" You know, just doing my thing. What's up, Kevin? So that's been my COVID week. I mean, honestly, I think I went hiking a couple of times in the Wichitas. I did 3 or 4 gravel rides, and I just worked here from the house, and I don't know, not much. But again, the thing is like I just don't. It's just not. I just live in an environment that's not like you guys, so I have a lot more freedom than you guys. So a lot less people, and feel pretty safe out here. I'm pretty glad to be out here. So, all right, let's see. So let's talk about phase 1. I'm gonna pop over and make sure nothing's going on. Right, we're all good to go. So let's talk about phase 1. Looks like that is going to be released. I kind of have it pulled up. I haven't released. I mean, I haven't looked at the full details, but I have to admit, come Friday, I'm not changing anything. I'm not doing anything any different. I'm not. There's a whole hierarchy of rules, and basically, I saw someone post the other day that was a legal person. I have a lot, and we're seeing a lot of people griping and whining and complaining and talking about all the things, all the different states are doing. But I think most of those complaints are invalid and not aware of what the legalities are. And basically, it just kind of top down. It's federal, state, local, as you work your way down. And the thing is that whatever guidelines come from the higher up, you can be stricter than those, but you can't be less strict. And that's as simple as it gets. I'm not going to go into details about that, but that's just the reality of it is. So right now for phase 1, it looks like we're opening all kinds of different things. Churches are going to be open, which I have a story that I want to tell just about that here in a minute, which I am very concerned with. Gyms are going to be open. Personal care businesses are going to be open. All those things. Nail salons, pet groomers, barbershops, spas, tattoo parlors. All of these things are going to be open again. They're supposed to be following strict guidelines. Hopefully they will. And then they're going to allow this to happen, and then they're going to evaluate over the following 14 days. And based on what happens during that 14 days is it will determine whether we go into phase 2. So, I mean, that's kind of it. Rusty Daly asks, Governor planning on opening up organized sports May 15th. I'm not aware of the May 15th date. I don't think. I guess that makes sense. That's going to be your 14-day phase 2 period, right? So it basically just depends on what happens during phase 1 on whether the May 15th date happens. Because May 15th is going to be based on an evaluation of the prior 14 days. So the answer is May 15th is unknown, and we won't know until we get to like that 13th or 14th day after which is going to be like the 13th to 14th. That's when they're going to make that decision. So I've been seeing a lot of things here. A lot of you guys have been posting. And I'll be the first one to tell you, and I've told you guys many a time, the media is ridiculous. The media is blowing things completely out of proportion in both directions. I'm not taking any side. So you really, really should not be watching the media. And if you are, again, the media is poor. They're sound bites. They're things to draw you in, to get you angry, to get you upset, to get you on a side. And that's a problem. And that's not the way it should be. You need to be looking at long form verbal podcasts that are uninterrupted by commercials. And then that way you can determine the real information. Reading news articles, again, are just the same thing. It's almost impossible to vet.
They probably are getting a little too overcooked.
It's almost impossible to vet the articles. I've been seeing a whole bunch of stuff as we lead into this Friday talking about this whole thing is a hoax. This whole thing is not real. It's a media storm. I've got a perfect example, and this is a live example. This is not something that I've heard secondhand. This is literally an example that exists between my town where I live and a town 20 minutes south of me. 2 different counties. You go out and look at the data right now for Kiowa County, which is where I live, and you look at Greer County, which is, depending on which town in Greer County you're talking about, which I'm talking about Mangum. That's the main problem. Mangum's about 30 minutes from here. Granite's probably about 20-ish minutes from here. Again, we have had 4 confirmed cases. 2 are well. I hear a rumor that the 3rd one is almost well, and we have only 2 more that are still sick. One of those 2 doesn't live in Hobart. So you take the other example, and you look at Mangum, Greer County. They are at 75 plus confirmed, 5 plus deaths. What's different? Their town is almost the same size as ours. And here's the difference. And here's where this hoax bullshit is not playing. This is confirmed. I'm not making this up. There's been national news on this. This is straight up real information. This is not rumor. This is not innuendo. This is not I think. This happened 30 minutes south of me. A preacher, before the lockdown, came down to a church revival in Mangum from Tulsa. They did their thing, whatever their thing was, and he went home. Turns out he was ill with the virus. He had it. He went back home and then started showing symptoms after he got home. He's since died from it. Because of that, I don't know what the percentage is, but all the people in the church began getting sick. Turns out some of those people worked in the nursing home in Mangum. Those people got sick. That's where a lot of the deaths came from, 5 plus deaths. I'm not sure where it's at right now. I did look at the numbers today. One of our confirmed cases was actually an employee that lives here that worked at the nursing home. So now you're telling me that this is not real. You're telling me that letting church start happening this Friday, this coming Sunday, letting gyms open, telling me that's a good idea? I don't know. I could be wrong, but all I know is that I'm not going. I'm staying at home. I'm doing what I've been doing. I'm working from home, and I'm going to continue doing my thing from here by myself. I'll let the next 14 days after that play out. So you want to go do your thing, that's more power to you, but I'm not. I've seen what can happen 30 minutes from my house. So I don't want to be there. I mean, I've been driving around doing all kinds of things in those areas, doing some, gravel stuff. I don't go into that county. Simply don't, because I don't want to go there. It's dangerous. It's scary. And I can't imagine living where you guys live, and because most of you guys live in metro areas. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. I'll step off the soapbox. So let me go back up. I know Miss Lot. Gary Miller's in the house. Christy Ross, Brandon Nesbitt. Hello, Brandon. Kevin Peak says, just glad the roads have been clear. That's true. I don't know. I see a lot of traffic in Oklahoma City, but roads are clear out here. I did a cool down. I don't know, just a recovery ride yesterday at like 7:00 here in my local town. We rode all the main downtown streets in the middle of the road because there was no traffic. But again, we normally don't have traffic after 6:00 anyway. So welcome to my world. Gary Miller says, BLN says hello. Shannon Wyatt, Hannah Bagaski. Sorry, Hannah, totally butchered your name there. Just go behind. You go behind the camera, no one can see. I have traffic in here, and they're worried about my camera. So. Trip Harrison joined. What's happening, Trip? Hannah says beard's looking good. Wiz, thanks, Hannah. I'm more worried about the side, the stash closing in. So I'm feeling pretty confident about that. This thing's getting thick though. It's driving me crazy. So it's getting a little better. I was really, really itchy like 2 weeks ago, but now it's like getting a little better. But I still have trouble like touching it and messing with it. So I'm not following the COVID don't touch your face rule. So I'm totally blowing that up. Darren Morris says, why are you lying to everyone? You know it's chemtrails. Just admit it. Oh, Darren. David Copeland, what's happening? David, I agree. Yeah, Dave says he lives in a 1,400 or 1,450 square foot of my house, and that's about it. That's the thing is like you guys live in such a metropolitan area. Just even going to get groceries is scary. I go to the grocery store almost every day. I literally go to this grocery store every day. Same people are working. Nobody's sick. Some people it's weird and we're all taking some precautions, but it's just the advantage of living where there's not a lot of people. I went to Walmart today and you can only go up aisles certain directions and they're trying to keep everybody separated. But I mean, I think I passed 3 people even closely in the aisles, but just wasn't necessary. So again, just advantage of where I live. So let's see. Kevin says always brutal. Everyone's wrapping it up except their drive. Yeah, for sure. GT says my days haven't changed much, but I've been working from home since September. Still ride with my small group of peeps. New mortgage means no eating out. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I know, Kevin, right. It's like everybody says stop touching your face, and it's like I'm always going like this or trying to get my mustache from like sticking me in the damn nose. So it's like, yeah, I'm screwing that all up. So and Brian Alvey says both of his jobs are essential. So I don't know. I'm just lucky. I'm working. I just work from home. So I mean, it's really funny because now that I work for the school, so now that we've moved to doing distance learning type stuff, all my teachers are just kind of going and running with it. But because they're doing everything electronically now, their questions don't come in normal times. So I spent 2 hours working on a deck out in my backyard today, but I answered questions this morning, and I was literally answering questions to a couple of teachers that had some things they needed from me 5-10 minutes before this show. So, I kind of have a base when I do work, but I'm just lucky that I can do everything from home for the most part. So,
yeah. Look at this picture my friend is posted. Not crazy.
Mike Pickle says 6 days a week on Zwift City. Yeah, for sure. I know we were talking about the whole Zwift thing. So, yeah, I've been doing that. But, honestly, the weather's been so nice. I've been going outside. In fact, last week I did my intervals. I had to do some sweet spot intervals, and I did those outside. It's the first time I've done outside intervals in a while. It was kind of nice. I just been doing a lot of gravel. I did actually get my road bike out and do my intervals on the road. So
Golly, it's crazy.
Dean Gracie joined GT beard problems. I know, right?
Yep.
Hunter Farrington, Sean Dunn, Amy Peyton Bean, Richie Bean, Jason Engelke, Rusty Daly, single speed, small male frame 26 are needed for my 11-year-old. Can you help? All right. Hey, there you go, right there. So we need a small frame 26er, possibly for a boy, 11 years old. If you guys have anything out there that fits that need or fits that possibility, hit me up and I'll put you in touch with Rusty. He's got an 11-year-old that's looking to get into cycling, and we see if we can make that happen. Jace Hargrove, what's happening, Jace? Okay, let's talk about what's upcoming. We had some news come out yesterday. I've talked to Tom Euglein, one of my officials, along with along with his wife, Debbie. They're our officials for Tour de Dirt, and I've also talked to some other friends involved in USA Cycling, as well as some of my Arkansas compatriots over there doing their thing. And looks like we've had there was a big Zoom meeting for officials and race directors and things like that yesterday with USA Cycling. And they released some pretty important information. But again, it's information that we're going to have to kind of wait and see. And it is also going to be, it's not a straightforward recommendation. So, but give me just a second. Let's see. So Jeremy Black is he's got a little Elio deal going up with Elio Clothing. He says he just received his first order of masks from Elio. They shut down their operations but started making masks and donated 1-for-1 to medical personnel. He'll be wearing them long after he gets all the weird looks from all those people living like all is well. Exactly, right? I'm going to be wearing the heck out of those things. Joanne Roberts, Barry David. All right, thanks, Kevin. I'll talk to you. Kevin, hit me up later, and I'll talk to you about that. USA Cycling Tour de Dirt. Let's talk about this. So basically, what came down is, with all the states starting to move into different phases of lessening the restrictions, I think still the big window is going to be the next couple of weeks. I don't think we're going to make any decisions on then. For Oklahoma, phase 1 begins Friday. That's May 1st. And again, I've told you my point of view on that. I'm not changing anything. I'm not going to go to these places. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. And I'm going to wait and see. I'm concerned, and I'm going to play that card. I hope I'm wrong. I do. I really hope that I'm wrong. Me being wrong is the best case scenario. Sorry, we've got some wind blowing outside, so I don't know. But I'm going to play it safe. I'm not going to be meeting at these big groups or anything like that. I'm going to sit and wait and see what these next 2 weeks play out. That's kind of where we're at. So right now, USA Cycling is sticking to their May 31st date. May 31st is their cutoff on when they're not allowing permits. After that, they are. So any permit after May 31st is still good, still going to be allowed. And if we need to reschedule, we can. We only have 2 dates to reschedule right now. And I've already got dates in mind for that. I'm not going to announce those now. I've got a lot of checking and a lot of thinking and processing to get through. I'm going to leave all of our other dates as is and hope that the next 2 weeks go well. And if the next 2 weeks go well, then we will see how it plays out. None of our races fall within the phase 2, which I think is supposed to be set to begin May 15th. Again, that's all going to be based on whether or not there's an issue in those 14 days prior to that. And that's the plan. So I'm going to start working forward at this point. I've been kind of in status quo, just doing nothing. I've refused to make any decisions because there's just too much going on and too much indecisiveness and too many things changing too rapidly. But it seems like things have slowed in how quickly things are changing. And we're just going to kind of see. So right now the plan is we're looking good for May 31st. Arkansas has decided to move on with their series. I'm sure may have a couple of dates to reschedule. I haven't seen the full details. I saw their announcement briefly yesterday. They are already talking about how they're going to do end of season awards, and I'm already thinking about that. And I kind of already have a plan for that as well too. Because financially it's going to be an issue depending on how many races we have or don't have. All of the money that we use for jerseys, payouts, awards, and all of that come from race fees that we charge the promoters after the fact. And if we have fewer races, we're going to have fewer of that. So I don't know. We'll wait and see. Also, if we have lower participation, I don't know. Again, all those we don't know. I'm just going to kind of play that by ear and wait till I get to. I probably won't have to make that decision until October. No, take that back. Early September for what we're going to do for end of season. But right now, I still think that we can have enough of the season to be valid for state championship jerseys. And I still look at doing state championship jerseys. I may have to look at cutting back on the payouts, though. That may be the thing. I may just have to look at doing some minor awards and then doing jerseys. So I don't know. I don't know how it's going to play out. A lot of it just depends on how our budget and how our accounts look at the when we get to the end of the season. But right now, again, it looks like we're going to be able to start racing soon. So, but I don't want to get everybody's hopes up because, again, we have a key window here between the 1st and the 15th. That's going to be the key window. So USAC plans on having some guidelines for all of us being race promoters, race directors, series directors, officials, everybody that holds some kind of local position like that and working through USAC. They're going to have a position on that hopefully in a couple of weeks. I think they're probably kind of sitting it out like we are and kind of waiting to see what happens over the next week and a half of lesser restrictions to see how that plays out. But hopefully we'll be able to work with that. And then again, USAC is going to give their regulations, but we still have to play by the rules that we have set here in our state. So, if we have state guidelines, we're going to have to follow state guidelines. If we have particular venue guidelines, maybe state parks, or maybe it's, whatever the property is, whatever the park is, maybe the park and that city that the park is under has restrictions, then we're going to have to deal with those restrictions too. So, we're going to have a lot of things that are going to have to be in play here. Nothing that you guys have to worry about. That's all me, our race promoters, race directors, and then working with our officials. So hopefully we'll be able to work all that out. It all plays, but so looks like for all of you guys, including myself, that have been kind of just doing long rides and riding and doing the just doing the ride thing and getting the base miles in. It might be time to start thinking about getting some top end high intensity stuff going again. Looks like we might be able to do it. I think that based on the email that I got and the information I got from a couple of people, I think that USA Cycling is leaning towards there may be a possibility that we don't have national championships this year. So talking marathon nats, talking cross country nats, I don't know, cyclocross Nats is pretty far away, so don't know that that's something that's, you know, even in the works right now. I think probably they're just going to be looking at marathon because it's closest, and then cross country Nats because it's closest. So the talk is maybe unlikely. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So that's it. So I'll start having more information. I'm going to start doing some work. I'm going to start getting. I'm going to start reaching out to all my promoters. Start working with my officials and my board, and I'll start getting information out on Tour de Dirt Facebook page, and hopefully we'll have some direction soon. Again, it may be a while because we still, you know, I'm going to still give it a while, but we're just going to wait and see. Let's see. Kevin says, quick actual racing question. Whatever happened to the t-shirt races? Those were fun, and you left with a cool t-shirt. That trend should come back. I get it, Kevin, and that's cool. And I still do get, you know, t-shirts here and there. But the thing is that things are expensive. Things are different these days. The cost to run a race is expensive. The cost of t-shirts is expensive. And if you have a small event that doesn't have more than 100 people and you give t-shirts to all the racers, you're going to lose money. So that's the unfortunate thing, is that unless you have 150 plus, you're going to lose money or you're going to not make any money. So that's why a lot of people don't do t-shirts anymore at cross country races. So the issue is more of attendance and costs than it is that. So. Kevin Wagner, you for sure will spend more time with single speed. Heck yeah. And yes, I read that. I just mentioned that, Kevin. Arkansas says their series will happen, and ours will happen too. Just we'll have to do some modifications. I've got a couple reschedules that I've already really kind of done. I just honestly haven't thought about it. I need to do some double check and make sure we're still good, and we'll make it happen. But I mean, the whole back end of our season is still solid, assuming that things play out okay. Sam Copeland, David says he's there for the fun and the people, and I am too. That's just kind of the way it works. So, alrighty. We are 42 minutes in. I don't really think I have much else on my agenda. So if you guys have any quick questions, comments, things you want me to talk about, hit me up. Let me pop over to YouTube. Let's see. Liaison Knowles decided to check in on YouTube instead of Facebook. Says, yes, big city would be scary because Liaison lives out in Taos. He goes a little bit out of town, so he gets off the beaten path. So he's been knocking out some climbing this whole time. Perfect. I don't, Kevin. Kevin Wagner asked about it's going to be the Moonshine Madness series. We don't know, and I think probably Tegan, Celestial, Sheridan, and the crew running that have probably just kind of been waiting like me. It's really too early to be making any decisions on this just because of the craziness that have been happening. So now that we're having some restrictions possibly lifted, and again, like I'm really going to, for me, really that 5/15 date is going to be the key date because restrictions are being lifted here in Oklahoma on Friday, 5/1, and I'm hoping that we see movement one way or the other by 5/15, and so then we'll know a little bit more. So Kevin and Jason both asked the same thing. So Kevin says it's the Midnight Madness series, and Jason says it's the Moonlight Madness series. It's like you're both really close. It's the Moonshine Madness series. So Moonshine, you got to have the, you know. I think I saw a meme the other day that said, you know, I've been, you know, some moonshine commercial. It said something moonshine, killing Corona for years, something of that nature. So I don't know. I will, now that things are starting to liven up and we can start thinking actually forward to racing again, I'll start reaching out and finding out what's coming up. I did see where's it at? Peddler's Bash. Peddler's Bash, October 30 or 31st. It's Halloween. I can't remember which day that falls on, but so Peddler's Bash is rescheduled. That's a biggie for a lot of us. I have not heard about the Epic Rides yet. I think we scheduled around that anyway, so I think it's I can't remember. I don't know if they're gonna have to even reschedule that. So no, Kevin, actually I don't use any product. I have some oil, just like a little oil drops that I rub in it sometimes, but honestly I've gotten to the point where I don't even put anything in it. I use conditioner on my beard in the shower, and then sometimes I don't wash it all out. I leave a little bit in, and then I just blow dry it, and I have a wooden beard comb. So I'm getting heckled from giving beard product advice. So how lame is that? But hey, it's the world I live in.
That's all right.
So just condition and you'll be good. You get a little oil and you're okay. Jenny Shepard joined. Welcome, Jenny.
That's so good. I feel like I could go to sleep after all that.
Jason says alcohol. You got it. Jason's going far. How often? Every time I shower, bro. Every time I shower, man. You gotta keep it looking solid. I was getting photobombed from the door. Jason, I don't own my chain. I don't take care of my bikes. No, actually, I really do. I do pretty good. I don't know. I don't lube them very often. Just when they get dirty, I wipe them, and if they don't get dirty, like dust and stuff, it just gets all nasty. And then I don't bother lubing them. So I use a dry kind of a wax based rock and roll. So I don't like the black, dirty, nasty, leaving a rookie cookie on your leg chain. So I haven't done the wax stuff yet. I really, really want to try that. My buddy Kevin Collins up in Kansas does that religiously and says it's the bomb. So basically it's you just dip your chain in paraffin wax. I mean, there's a special kind of wax you can buy for it. And then it just flakes off and flakes off and flakes off. And you don't have to do any kind of bike lube at all. That is the lube. And then, periodically you have to pull the chain and then re-dip it, clean it and then re-dip it. But, yeah, I mean, they say that's the bomb. I don't know. I haven't tried it. So I kind of really want to. Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe. Oh, GT. Yeah, I knew I was, once Kevin asked and I actually bothered to answer, I knew I was going to take a hit on that. So, Lori Cooksey joined. What's happening, Lori? Tell Mitch he needs to quit working on the back porch patio and start riding his bike. I saw all the cool stuff that you must have been putting into work. Let's see. Let me go check out YouTube. Let's see. Oh, YouTube's still clear. All right. I think I'm good. Last minute, last chance. I'm going to finish my Natty Light, and I'm going to go get some food. One of my boys has been cooking. He cooked up some crappie that him and his friends caught a couple days ago. So I had a little snack earlier before I started. Now I need to go get some real good stuff. Jason says he's been using Squirt, which is wax based. Yeah, for sure. I've gotten several of those from like a couple of events, and I really like those things too, for sure. Because that's just a liquid based, same concept as the is like just waxing your chain, and that is that you lube it, but it doesn't get all black and sticky. It just kind of flakes off and flakes off and flakes off until it's drier, and then you just reapply. So, oh, I know, right? Nobody said anything. GT is the first one to do this. Look at it. So, all sides are done. The wizard can't do it. Yeah, come peek in. Give me a photo shot. This is one of my kiddos. There you go. You're in. That was him. He's the one cooking the fish right now too. So he's been bored over the quarantine. So he looked up and figured out the pattern, and he can now do it without notes. Oh, you got it. Oh yeah, look at that. Whole plate full of crappie. Mmm.
Probably not.
That's good stuff. So, but what's your time now for this? You can solve it less than 5 minutes?
Yeah.
So we can do this in less than 5 minutes now. Not me. All righty. I think I'm going to get. Oh, let's see. Hang on. Yeah, Liaison, I do the same thing. Rock and roll. I use gold and the blue both. Good night, Brandon. Good to see you, B. Thanks for checking in. See you next week, Brandon. Eric Wild joined. Eric, I'm finishing up, so you're going to have to go back and watch the replay, bro. All right, 52. I'm out. See you guys. Enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll have more information as the week comes, and then I'll have some hopefully I have some pretty sweet announcements for next week. We're just going to kind of wait and see how things play out. So guys, be safe, be smart. Don't do anything crazy on Friday, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday.